Good afternoon, children. Welcome to today's class. In our last video class, we are discussing about chemical equations. So today we will do that only. And afterwards, we will be discussing how to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so let's start. Chemical equations. Chemical equation is nothing but uh, the chemical it is the symbolic representation of the chemical reactions. So let us do some more examples. When carbon dioxide will react with, let us write the word equation first. Word equation is writing the reactants and the products in word, writing the name of the reactants and the products in word. So carbon dioxide when carbon dioxide reacts with water, it produces these two will produce carbonic acid. So this is the word equation. Now we are going to convert this reactants and the products in there with their formulas. Okay, so CO2 plus H2O water, we are going to get carbonic acid means H2CO3. Here you can see two hydrogens are there in water, two hydrogen atoms are there. So H2, one carbon atom is there, so C, and here two oxygen atoms and here one oxygen atom. That means here three oxygen atoms. So here in this equation you can see we have used in this carbon dioxide, we are having one carbon atom, two oxygen atoms. Here in water, two hydrogen atoms, one oxygen atom. Okay, and in carbonic acid we are having, in one molecule of carbonic acid we have two hydrogen atoms. That's why we have written H2, two hydrogen atom, one carbon atom, and three oxygen atoms. That means if we add this two, if we add this, these are the reactants, carbon dioxide and water, these two are reactants, and from this reactants we are getting the product carbonic acid. So in the reactant, total number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is matching with the total number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in product side. So here the total number of atoms in the left hand side is equal to the total number of atoms in the reactant side. That's why this equation we will call as balanced equation. It is already balanced. Okay, no need to balance it again. So it is already balanced. Let us take one more example of balanced equation which is already balanced. So here calcium oxide, so let me this. When calcium oxide reacts with water, so calcium oxide plus water, we are getting the product as calcium hydroxide. So this is the word equation for the reaction. Let us write the chemical equation. So CaO, this is the representation, symbolic representation of calcium oxide. This is the formula of calcium oxide, chemical formula, plus water, H2O, and we will get calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH whole 2. Here also, if we see one calcium atom, this is the reactant side. So one calcium atom, in one calcium oxide we are having one calcium atom and one oxygen atom. In water we have two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. In calcium hydroxide we are having one calcium atom, and OH whole 2 means 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So 2 oxygen we are having, 2 oxygen atoms and 2 hydrogen atoms. Here also, if we add the total number of calcium, oxygen and hydrogen atoms in reactant side, then it will be equal to total number of calcium, oxygen and hydrogen atoms in product side. Or if the reactants or the different elements which has been used in the reaction, if we consider them, that means if separately calcium, oxygen and hydrogen atoms we count, then that also matches with the number of calcium, oxygen and hydrogen atom in the reactant side, in the product side. That means calcium, 1 calcium, here also in reactant side 1 calcium, here oxygen atoms 1 plus 1 2, here also we are having 2 oxygen atoms, and number of hydrogen atoms 2 here, and in reactant in product side also it is 2. That means it's matching. Okay, so this kind of reactions are these two are the examples of the chemical equation which is already balanced. Now we will see another example of chemical equation, the reaction between hydrogen and chlorine to produce hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen, it is in gaseous form, plus chlorine also in gaseous form. Hydrogen plus chlorine, we will get hydrogen chloride. This is also in gaseous form. So let us convert it into formula, chemical formula. So hydrogen H2 plus chlorine Cl2. As we know, hydrogen is diatomic. So in this, this is one molecule of hydrogen, this is one molecule of chlorine. As chlorine is also diatomic, so 2 chlorine atoms will join together to form a chlorine molecule, so as in the hydrogen molecule also. So H2 plus Cl2, we are going to get HCl. Okay, hydrogen chloride. Now here you can see that we have used two hydrogen atoms in the reactant side, here 2 chlorine atoms, and here we are getting one hydrogen atom in one hydrogen chloride molecule. This is one hydrogen chloride molecule. Here one hydrogen atom is present and one chlorine atom is present. So here you can see the number of hydrogen atoms and chlorine atoms are not equal to the number of hydrogen and chlorine atom in the product side. That means the reactant side and the product side is not equal, which violates the law of conservation of mass. That means this reaction is not balanced. So such reactions are called skeletal reaction, where only we are these are not balanced. So unbalanced equation, only the reactants and the products we are writing in this manner representing, but the chemical equation is not balanced. So this kind of reactions are called skeletal equation, okay, where only the skeletal or the format is there but it is not balanced. Now if we this reaction we cannot write in this manner as H plus Cl HCl. So you can see that this reaction is balanced because number of hydrogen and chlorine is equal to the number of hydrogen and chlorine present in the reactant side and product side. That means here the number of atoms are equal in reactant side and the product side, but in this manner we cannot write the chemical equation because we know that hydrogen cannot exist in molecular form, atomic form. This is the atomic form of hydrogen, H. So in this manner hydrogen cannot exist because the atom of hydrogen is not independent existence of hydrogen atom is not possible. Okay, so as in the chlorine atom also, one single chlorine atom cannot exist in this manner, so we have to write it in the molecular form as Cl2. Okay, for hydrogen also we have to write H2 in this manner. So in this manner we cannot represent the chemical equation. Now let us get some more example of such skeletal equation. Skeletal equations. Magnesium plus oxygen. We are going to get magnesium oxide, MgO. Here you can see one magnesium atom. Metals we generally write in this manner only, okay, not like the gases and all. Okay, here gases have to exist in this manner, molecular form. That means with these numbers, that is whether if it is diatomic or if it is triatomic, then in that manner we have to represent those. But for metals generally we will consider the metals as monoatomic. Okay, so in this manner always whenever you will see the chemical equations and all, always we will represent the metals in this manner, that means in monoatomic form. Okay, so magnesium plus oxygen, we will get magnesium oxide. Next, hydrogen plus water, H2 plus O2. Hydrogen plus oxygen, we are getting water. Like this, sodium plus chlorine, sodium chloride, NaCl. Hydrogen plus nitrogen, we will get ammonia, NH3. So all these reactions are all these equations we will call as skeletal equation, because this is the main equation. Without balancing we have written the equation, so this is called the skeletal equation, the main equation we will say. Okay, now we will learn how to balance the equations. So let us start from this only. here we have seen that two oxygen atoms are there. Okay, so as in the reactant side 2 oxygens are there, so in the product side minimum 2 oxygen will be there. So let us write 2 this side. Okay, MgO. So let us write 2. So if we write 2 this side, then oxygen is balanced now. Here 2 oxygen atom, here also 2 oxygen atoms. Now as we have written 2 this side, so now we have taken 2 magnesium, but this side in reactant side we have taken only 1 magnesium. So how to make it equal? If we write 2 this side, then it will match with the number of magnesium in the product side. Now see this reaction is balanced now. Okay, now this is no more via skeletal equation. This is a balanced equation. Okay, this is a balanced equation. What about the reaction between hydrogen plus nitrogen? It will produce ammonia, NH3. Now see, 3 hydrogens are there this side and 1 nitrogen. So how to balance it? If we write 3 this side before hydrogen, then now how many hydrogen atoms we are having in the reactant side? 3 into 2, 6 hydrogen atoms. Okay, now this side also we need to write, we need to have 6 hydrogen atoms. So 2 into 3, so hydrogen is balanced now, 6 hydrogen. And how many nitrogens are there? 2 nitrogen atoms are there, and this side also we are having 2 nitrogen atoms. Okay, so if we do in this manner, see, now the reaction is balanced. 6 hydrogen atoms this side, here hydrogen atoms are the number of hydrogen atoms, this is 6 nitrogen atoms. Here 2 nitrogen atoms are there, this side also 2 nitrogen atoms. So it is balanced now. Okay, next, hydrogen plus oxygen, we are getting water. Okay, H2O. How to balance it? See, 2 hydrogen atoms are there, this side also we are having 2 hydrogen atoms. But how many oxygen atoms? Here this side 2 oxygen atoms, here only 1. So we need to balance it. So if we write 2 this side, oxygen is balanced now. But what about hydrogen? 2 into 2, 4 hydrogens are there in the product side. So this side also we have to make it 4. How to do that? If we write 2 before hydrogen, then 2 into 2, 4 hydrogen atoms, and oxygen atoms are how many? 2 oxygen atoms, and this side we are having 2 into 2, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 2 into 1, that means 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, so it is balanced. So what is the need of balancing of equation? What is the need? We could have written the chemical equation in unbalanced form also, but as we know the law of conservation of mass, this must be we must keep it in mind. This must be maintained. Okay, that's why. And we know that chemical equations or the reactions, chemical reactions, these are nothing but the rearrangement of atoms. Okay, so just take an example of any of the equation. If we consider this reaction, hydrogen and nitrogen, to produce ammonia, okay, NH3. So if we see the molecules, so there will be these two hydrogen atoms will be bonded together in this manner. Two hydrogen atoms will be bonded together with this chemical bond. Nitrogen also, there will be 3 bonds in nitrogen. Why? This you are going to get in the higher classes, but there will be 3 bonds. This is called the triple bond. Okay, and ammonia, the structure of ammonia is like this. Okay, now see, here we are having bond between hydrogens, here we are having bond between nitrogens, and here we are having bonds between nitrogen and hydrogen. So we must rearrange the molecules, we must break the bonds between hydrogens and nitrogens, then only we can get the bond between nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, that means here must be a rearrangement of atoms. Okay, so in this in any chemical equation only the rearrangement will occur, but there will be no destruction or formation of atoms. Okay, the atoms which we will be taking at first, that means in the reactant side, whatever as many the atoms will be there, the same number of atoms we are going to get in the product side, because there will be no destruction or formation of any atoms. So that's why the total number of atoms and number of each elements, number of atoms of each element will kept constant. It will be it must be constant in chemical equation, and that's why all chemical equations should be balanced. So this is the reason why we have to write the balanced equation. Whenever you are told to write the equations, you have to write it in balanced form. Now if we write the balanced form of the equation, then this will be the balanced form. Okay, so after balancing the equation, you can write either equal or you can give the arrow also. Okay, both are correct. So both you can give, any one you can give. Okay, now what is the significance of balanced chemical equation? So what we are going to get, what informations it will provide to us. So from a balanced equation we can get the names. First of all, the name of the reactants and the products which are taking part in the reaction, the reactants which are taking part in the reaction, and the products which are formed after the chemical equation, that we are going to get the name of the reactants and the products. We will get the number of atoms and the number of molecules which are taking part in the chemical equation, we can get from the balanced equation. So here number of molecules as well as number of atoms of both the sides we can get from the balanced chemical equation. Okay, for each of the elements which are taking part in the chemical equation, their number of the molecules and number of the atoms we can get from the chemical equation. If we know the atomic mass of the elements taking part in the chemical equation, that means for this particular reaction, if we know the atomic mass of hydrogen, atomic mass of nitrogen, then we can calculate the we can calculate the molecular mass of the product formed. Okay, and the total mass of the reactants will be equal to the total mass of the product. That also we can prove from a balanced chemical equation. So just I'm showing you how to do that. See, for here we are taking 3 hydrogen atoms, and for each hydrogen atom it is atomic mass of one hydrogen atom is 1. So here we are having 2 hydrogen atoms. So 3 into 2. Okay. So this is the molecular mass of 3 hydrogen atoms. 3 into 2, 6 AMU. This atomic mass unit we will use. This is the unit for representing the mass of the atoms. Nitrogen, this is 17. No, nitrogen is 14. Okay, one nitrogen is 14. So here we are having 2 nitrogen atoms. So 2 into 14, that means 28 AMU. One nitrogen atom's atomic mass is 14. Okay, nitrogen atoms atomic mass is 14. So here in one molecule of nitrogen there are 2 nitrogen atoms. So 2 into 14 will be the molecular mass of nitrogen. For hydrogen, this is 6 AMU. Nitrogen, 28 AMU. Here we are having 2 ammonia, and for each ammonia nitrogen is 14 and there are 3 hydrogens, so 3 into 1. Okay, so this is 2 into 17 AMU. Now let us calculate this. This will be total 6 plus 28. This is 34. And this is also 34. So we can see that the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. Here I am ending our today's class. Rest of the portion we will be doing in our next class. But before that, I want to tell you one thing regarding project. Okay, for chemistry project, whatever project you have got, that you do before the submission date. Okay, you keep it ready with you, but no need to send it now. No need to send it through emails and all. No need to do that. Just keep it ready with you. Okay, and how to submit that and everything about the project, regarding the project, yeah, in proper time you will be informed. Okay, so do in this manner. Now here I am ending our today's class. Have a nice day. Thank you.